That's right. Quaill doesn't have a whole lot of amateur experience prior to his pro debut. He only had 2 amateur fights. He went undefeated, winning both of them. But that's a big step, and we'll see how he adjusts.
We both made our debut together back in August 12th show in 2011, and I guess that was in Catania. And he went out and fought a good fight, basically ground guy from what I've seen so far. So I'm kind of anxious to see what he can do with the ground and pound rules, with the pro rules.
Were both of Ryan's fights in Pennsylvania?
Correct, yes. They were both in Pennsylvania, and I believe he was supposed to fight on the Butler card back in November, but it got nixed somehow. It got scratched off by the commission. And I think that was going to be his pro debut too.
Well, it'll be good to see how he adapts to striking on the ground, as well as the head kicks and elbows.
Agreed. Right now we got Darzanoff in the corner, getting ready to step into the cage, checking out the dock, getting all Vaselined up. Darzanoff is a middleweight at 185. This fight will be. He's 5'11", and they're both the 5'11" actually. And Darzanoff holds a 1-on-1 record coming in here, so he's kind of new with the pro rules too. Although the two fights might give him that little bit of
edge in the competition.
Agreed,
so.
agreed.
But this time we need from the red corner, Ryan Quaill, octagon side, Ryan Quaill, cage side.
All right, and the hometown fighter, Ryan Quaill, begins to make his walk to the cage. A lot of applause coming out from the crowd. Obviously, he brought some fans with him.
Once again, the referee is Chip Snyder. And these are 3 5-minute rounds. And it's brought to you by Armstrong Cable here at Stage AE. So we've got great fights we've heard tonight. We got to watch, got to commentate too.
Whole lot of finishes so far. We've only had 1 fight that's gone to a decision. We've had 5 other fights that have been finished. 6 other fights. And we'd like to thank some of our sponsors, Animal Pack, Thick as Thieves, Fractured Clothing.
I believe we have Invitation Clothing too, and you run a clothing company yourself too, right?
I actually do own a clothing company. I run Foundation Fight Company. We're a small jiu-jitsu based apparel company. We do some gear and equipment, shorts, ballet judo shorts, and jiu-jitsu gis for.
Oh, I've rocked you guys quite a few times. Good gear from a good company.
So be sure to check out all of their Facebook pages and support your local companies that are helping support local MMA.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 3rd pro fight of the evening. As usual, calling for 3
Ryan Quaill
5-minute
steps into the
rounds.
ring for his
It's
pro
the
debut.
185-pound
He looks ready good.
weight class.
Yeah, both of these guys look like they're in shape and ready to go tonight.
He weighed in at
Ryan Quaill never disappoints.
185.5 pounds from Clifton, New Jersey, fighting out of the AMA Fight Club and Henzo Gracie, New York. With a record of 1-1, it's Fikret Darzanoff.
Fikret Darzanoff receiving a lot of boos from the crowd.
His opponent with a record
Here's the
undefeated,
hometown
2
kid.
wins, no losses,
It's got to be
no
tough
draws.
to go into a different city and fight a guy who's fighting right in his backyard.
Oh, it's definitely tough. I fought a guy down in Virginia for an amateur tournament. It's a pro-am tournament, and it was tough to fight out there. You know, that's a very mental game. You gotta just keep pace and keep your mental focus, and that's what your coaches are for.
Yeah, it's always good to have a solid mind in your corner, giving you advice, and that knows your game and knows the techniques that you like.
And here we go for round 1.
All right, fighters do not touch gloves. This is the first bout where the fighters haven't come out and touched gloves. Quaill looking to close the distance, and they clinch, but Fikret reverses him and has Quaill backed up against the cage.
Tight clinch. Fikret using the underhooks very wisely.
Quaill looking to...
Quaill with the back elbow.
Fikret's got double unders in back control on Quaill and has pulled him down to the ground, looking to take the back. But Quaill's doing a good job of popping back up to his feet and disengaging, getting out of a bad spot.
Walking to the center of the ring. Right hand by Quaill.
And Fikret answers with a combo and a right hand of his own.
Quaill's hands are extremely low. And he's getting caught with those jabs on his right hands, Cody.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to clinch right now. He's using his striking to close the distance and try and engage the clinch game.
Darzanoff looks very, very calm, Cody.
Yeah, he looks really relaxed, and that may be the additional experience that he's got inside the cage.
I mean, we were just talking about that earlier, seeing if that would be would hinder Quaill here and making his pro debut.
Definitely may be a factor. Fikret just kind of shrugged off a takedown attempt from Quaill, and Quaill's backing up. He looks to be a little tired. Darzanoff's bouncing around, looks really relaxed. Quaill looks like he's looking to find a plan B, since his game plan doesn't seem to be working.
I think his game plan got nixed out here, so his hands are really low. He's looking for a takedown, and Darzanoff is doing a really good job staying calm and keeping the pace.
He's breathing out of his mouth right now, and it looks like he's breathing kind of heavy. We're not too far into the first round, so later rounds cardio may become an issue.
You did say it earlier that he had a low. There's a nice right hand.
Couple nice right hands.
And he answers back. Oh, a knee to the head.
Close miss on that knee.
What I was saying is that Quaill's only had two amateur fights, so this jump so early might be
a little early.
I agree.
But we'll see if he can fight through it and find a way to win.
Both fighters.
He's definitely got good corners. It looks like Dave Sachs and Mark Cherico are here supporting Ryan. Again, looking for that inside trip from the clinch.
Ryan's hands are so low. I'd like to see them up. Darzanoff is going to be able to pop him here.
You know, Darzanoff looks like a powerful guy. He's built really thick, and he just keeps shrugging off anytime that Quaill tries to clinch.
Yeah, those underhooks and overhooks. Oh, the right hand landed.
But he got wobbled, tries to shake it off like it didn't bother him.
And here comes Darzanoff with the rights.
He's got Quaill backed up against the cage and just kind of chasing him around with those right hands.
Darzanoff is in southpaw position here.
And both fighters back off and square up.
That left hand reaches. Both fighters look tired now.
Yeah, Fikret's pace has slowed down a little bit. He doesn't look quite as relaxed. He looks kind of tense. I think that punch that wobbled him kind of woke him up a little bit and made him realize that he's in a fight now.
Oh yeah, Quaill's got heavy hands. There's that 1-2 combination clinch. And then Darzanoff reaches back with a right hand and lands.
Quaill goes stumbling, but he recovers his balance and pops back up to his feet.
There's that right and the one, left hook. And we got a clinch situation here up against the cage, kind of. There's a nice knee from Quaill.
Let's see if either of these guys try to use this clinch to take the fight to the ground, but they both shrug it off and they're back to striking.
Deep breaths from Quaill. Dig deep. Pace kind of slowed down a lot, Cody.
Pace has slowed down considerably. Fikret isn't bouncing around as much. Quaill's still breathing out of his mouth. I think that the taste of Quaill's power kind of alerted Fikret and kind of changed his, pace.
Definitely agree with that.
Looks to be like he's fighting a little bit of a safer fight, more conservative. He's doing a lot of backpedaling, but he's still landing some power shots.
There's a nice left and a right from Fikret. And here we go, we got another clinch situation, and there's the bell for the 10 seconds.
Quaill's looking for a takedown to finish off the round, but again, Fikret's doing a good job of just shrugging him off with an underhook.
There's a knee from Quaill. That's the first knee Quaill threw. And that's the end of the round. And we go to the corners here. We got Cherico up in the ring for Quaill.
Mark Cherico is an undefeated professional from Pittsburgh. He is the pride of Bloomfield.
Unbelievable explosive fighter.
Oh, he is so fast. He's got a ton of first-round finishes. I believe he's 3-0 as a professional.
He just fought down at Pinnacle.
That's right. That was another good card in the Western Pennsylvania area.
Outside of Pittsburgh, and I think he fought a good opponent that took it on short notice and ended up getting that RNC.
Yeah, there were a couple last-minute changes. A bunch of guys from Fight Club Pittsburgh were on that card. You know, again, there's always last-minute shakeups, so it's tough for a promoter to, you know, keep everything the same from beginning to end. There's always going to be some changes, just like tonight. But you know, they did a good job of shuffling things around and adapting. And now we've got a great night of fights here, and we're about to start round 2. Let's see if either of these fighters have regained their wind in the break.
Both hands are both on their hips.
Fikret's taking deep breaths. I can see him from across the cage.
Right hand from Quaill and an answer from Fikret. And there's a takedown from Fikret.
That was Fikret's first attempt at a takedown. He shoots a double leg, and he's successful.
Agrees, and he ends up in the side control.
Yeah, he's already working to pass Quaill's guard. Quaill's trying to use the cage to get back up, but Fikret's doing a good job of controlling Quaill's hips. He's staying heavy on his hips. He hasn't quite gotten to side control, but he should be content right there. He's trying to pin the far side arm.
That's that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Cody.
That's right. Renzo Gracie is one of the best examples of jiu-jitsu and MMA. He fought anybody at any time. He fought, you know, guys like Sakuraba, Dan Henderson. You know, he fought Matt Hughes recently, and you know, the guy's a warrior. Quaill's doing a good job of
and here we go,
back
we got
up to his feet. Yeah.
Good job by Quaill. Shows heart. I like where Fikret's hands are at compared to Quaill's. See what? Oh, there it is. There's that left.
He landed 2 big left hands. Let's look to see if he can combine some of these strikes into another takedown attempt.
Nice right from Quaill. Nice jab from Quaill too. I feel like both these fighters are loosening up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, after that first round, feeling
Get all the
out,
cobwebs off, and then you start getting down to business.
got to get that groove going.
Find that style.
I'd like to see Fikret try another takedown. He had such success with that first attempt. You know, immediately past the guard. Maybe he can repeat and do it one more time.
That would conclude the round. I think he's listening to you, Cody.
He just did exactly what I was thinking. He's doing a good job of sucking those hips in, and he pops Ryan down to the canvas.
Ryan's throwing a shoddy guillotine attempt right now.
He's got Fikret's head. I don't think he's going to be able to finish since he can't control his lower body, but it'll do a good job of slowing Fikret down.
Here we go.
Or he can escape his hips to get to the front headlock.
And this crowd's going crazy, Cody, for Quaill here.
Yeah, he wasn't able to use the guillotine to submit Fikret, but what he did was he was able to free his hips, and he sprawled back into the front headlock and stood back up.
Chip Sonner asks, let's go. We want to see a little bit more action from these both fighters here.
Well, Fikret was just standing in the center of the ring with his hands on his knees. You know, not a great position to be standing in when you've got Ryan Quaill trying to throw punches at you. But
there's an uppercut that reaches.
Looks like Fikret's a little gassed now, and maybe Quaill's catching a second wind or just powering through it. Another takedown attempt and a third successful takedown attempt.
That's 3 this round, Cody. That might be the difference in this round.
Yeah, and I think Fikret got the better of the standing exchanges in round 1. So we may be looking at 2 rounds to none going into the 3rd round.
I would agree with that.
Fikret's got a lot of time left, though, and he's in a good position. He's got Quaill in side control, and his back is not to the cage, so he doesn't have the cage to walk out of. I think he's going to have to shrimp crawl and escape his hips or turn away and expose his back in order to get out.
Those little punches aren't really hurting Fikret at all. So Darzanoff is coming up, trying to reach. Here it comes. Is he going to pass is the question.
Well, he's actually already past the hips. What I'm worried about is Chip Snyder standing the fight up. Darzanoff's not doing a whole lot other than holding.
Quaill's asking him to there it is.
There we go.
There we got to stand up.
You know, Darzanoff got that takedown and he got right to a dominant position, but he wasn't utilizing that dominant position to win the fight.
These fighters are both winded right now, Cody.
Oh, they're both exhausted. It's just a
pouring it out in there, aren't they?
Yeah,
Put on a show for this Stage AE crowd.
Hey, look, Fikret just finished his 4th takedown. This time it looks like Quaill has managed to get Fikret into the half guard. Much better position than before. He's got one of Fikret's legs trapped. Look for Fikret to step over to mount like he just did.
Still has his hook in here.
It still does have that hook in. That's a quarter guard, but in MMA, a quarter guard is no place to be. It's almost a last-ditch effort to hold on to your opponent's leg. And from here, you know, Darzanoff can really just posture up and rain down some punches.
That's exactly what I was about ready to say, Cody. I'd like to see Darzanoff posture up and start raining them.
Again, he's just kind of trying to control Quaill from there. He's only got 10 seconds left. It'd be nice to see him posture up and fire off a hard volley of punches and really do some damage. He's finally into full mount.
He's got an arm triangle, 10th, and that's it. Go to the 3rd round.
Not enough time to utilize that full mount. So a lot different between rounds 1 and 2. Now both fighters are winded. A lot of takedowns in round 2. We had 4 takedowns by Fikret Darzanoff on 4 attempts.
I was just sitting here thinking, I don't think Ryan Quaill's fights lasted all 3 rounds when he was in the amateur fighting. So him to go in 10 minutes right now and his pro debut, let's see what he's got in the tank.
You know, if both of those fights were finishes, he might not have had 10 minutes combined as an amateur inside the cage. You know, max time inside the cage, 6 minutes. If he went to 2 decisions, so 12 minutes possible cage time. Right now, we're looking at the beginning of his 11th minute of a fight. We'll see how his cardio holds up. Fikret Darzanoff doesn't appear to be in, you know, much better shape at the moment now, though, because he's clearly winded too.
Coach is outside of the corner. Cage doors are starting to slam, and we're about ready to head off to round 3 here, Cody.
Yeah, we'll see who has more left to really impose their will in the final round. Right now, I've got Fikret up 2 rounds to 1. What do you think, Mitch?
I would have to agree, especially with that dominant takedown performance in the 2nd round by Darzanoff. Just too much for Quaill to handle. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, he spent most of the round on top in a dominant position.
Again.
That's the same takedown 5 times.
That's 5 total.
Fikret's really going to have to look to finish this fight. I don't think he wants to spend five more minutes fighting because, you know, a lot of things can happen. He's winning the fight. He's got to push the pace and finish.
Once that grappling starts happening, you get that blood inside your muscles, Cody, and it's really hard to start throwing when you get stood back up.
Fikret's got Quaill in the turtle position right now.
He's got a 2-on-1.
He's got the far side arm trapped, and he's looking to put his hooks in.
There's one.
He's got to get that bottom hook, though. The bottom hook's the important one. Right now, he's got the top hook, his left leg. From here, he should probably just throw some more punches and really try to soften him up to get that second hook.
Sinks the right hook.
He's got both hooks, and he's going to look for a rear naked choke. Quaill's standing up, and Fikret's riding kind of high. Maybe he can shake him off and get out of this bad position.
He's got his unders, and he's using the cage to break Quaill down, and he's doing quite a good job at it.
Yeah, Fikret was in a slightly dangerous position for a second where he was riding really high. Quaill stood up, but he managed to
That's that Gracie
maintain
JJ.
control. Chip Snyder's closely watching the action to make sure that the strikes are not hitting the back of the head.
The fight has now occurred right in front of us here, Cody. And we can feel the strikes, hear the strikes,
Yeah,
and see the fatigue on both
We've got
fighters.
a really good,
There's a nice
good view. Fikret's doing a good job of maintaining that back control, and he's got Quaill flattened out.
Here comes the bombs. Darzanoff, can he finish the fight is the question.
Quaill's going to have to really look to get out of this spot. Otherwise,
this is what makes a fighter. You make him or break him right here. Quaill's using the cage pretty wisely here.
He is. He's got Darzanoff's back trapped against the cage, and he's in a lot better spot than he was a second ago when he was flattened out.
Darzanoff still has that 2-on-1 and that grasp from those jiu-jitsu guys. It's really, really, you know, that grappling, it comes a long way.
He's really controlling that left arm, but he's got to use one of those arms to get the choke. So
there's one. There's the knife edge.
Now he's starting to slide that left arm across. Look for him to pull his right arm back. Quaill needs to really go 2 hands to 1.
There it is.
And get that choking arm
Good
off.
swim move by Quaill.
Yeah, Darzanoff's got double unders right now from the back, so neither of those arms are in danger of choking Quaill. He's just kind of maintaining the position, which is fine. You know, he doesn't have to finish the fight right now because he's
plenty of time left, Cody.
He's got a lot of time, and he's and he's up on the judges' scorecards.
I'm not going to lie, these right shots are landing really hard, though, Cody. Really hard. And Quaill looks it.
Yeah, Quaill looks pretty tired. He's defending from the most dangerous position in mixed martial arts.
And we get a stand-up with one hook in, Cody, from the back.
And, you know, Chip Snyder just stood the fighters up. I'm not sure I agree with that.
This is the 6th successful takedown from Darzanoff.
6 for 6. Darzanoff had just been stood up from the most
back
dominant
is
position.
right up against our cage here.
He's got the head again, but I don't think he's got the angle or the space with the cage behind him to finish
We have the crowd
guillotine.
not liking these takedowns here.
No, they definitely want to see Quaill popping up and landing some strikes, because he's got to finish this fight in order to win.
Darzanoff has a good underhook underneath the leg and holding his position and posture very, very well up against his cage.
Quail's got to fight that underhook and get
There's
an underhook
that right
of his
hand that
own.
lands again.
Quail's looking to find a way out, but Darzanoff's right back on his back.
Let's see what Darzanoff can do from here.
You know, he doesn't really have to do anything at this point. As long as he can maintain control, he's going to ride this out and win the fight. I'm a little surprised Chip stood the fight up from back control.
I agree, especially with that one hook in, Cody.
You know, he had both hooks in, and even though he wasn't getting the submission, he was in an incredibly dominant position. So, you know, Quaill was doing a really good job of defending. I think it was on Quaill to find his way out instead of, you know, Chip popping in and...
Here's Quaill using the cage here a little bit. He's holding on to the cage here.
Referee Chip Snyder was about to hop in and warn Quaill for grabbing the cage, which is against the rules.
Quail's trying to use the cage to his advantage here with Darzanoff on his back.
But Darzanoff right there did a really good job of controlling behind Quail's knees to bring him back down to back mount.
Cody,
Again,
this has been the longest fight that we sit here and talk about so far tonight.
Yeah, we've had a lot to talk about throughout this fight. We've seen a lot of groundwork in these last 2 rounds and a lot of heavy striking in the first round. This is our second fight to go to the decision, and
I think Darzanoff might have pulled that off with those 6 total takedowns in the second and the third.
yeah, he was really successful with those takedowns. And once he found that early success with it, you know, he just kept going right back to it. Same takedown, double leg, over and over and over.
I believe that this is a unanimous decision to Darzanoff, Cody.
I think it's a pretty clear-cut decision from the judges. We could see a 30-27 or, you know, maybe even a 30-26 because Darzanoff spent most of that round on Quail's back.
We want to get an opinion here about the fight.
Bringing in expert Jessica Evil Eye one more time to let us know what she thought of those 2 last rounds.
What did I think of them?
Yeah, what did you think?
I mean, I thought they were definitely good. I think they were good back and forth. I believe that the blue corner is going to come out victorious on this one. I definitely think he controlled the last 2 rounds.
Yeah, he used those takedowns. He never failed a takedown attempt. He was 6 for 6. He hit that double leg early in the second round, and I think he realized that was the technique that was working for him. And he just utilized that over and over and over until the final bell ended.
Yeah, you know, and I mean, and I think that some guys forget sometimes in MMA it's still a point system, and that you have to score points, especially if it gets into those later rounds. You got to figure out how to score points and get the judges to notice you.
Yeah, and I think at a certain point, Fikret figured out that he was going to win this fight as long as he stayed on top. And, you know, he wasn't working too hard to finish from the back, but he was in a great position, and, you know, he could just ride it out and win the points game.
Yeah, I thought he did. I mean, I definitely thought he did a great job of keeping control. Was he a previous wrestler from before? Or?
You know, we don't know a whole lot about him because he's out of Newark, New Jersey. He trains at Renzo Gracie Newark. So, you know, obviously he's getting some good jiu-jitsu training in with Team Renzo Gracie. But,
yeah.
You know, he's 1-1 as a pro, but we didn't know a whole lot about him coming in. All right, and here we have the official judge's decision.
Got a little winded. I get winded climbing up the steps. Anyway, it's time for the official decision. Judge Armstrong scored it 30-27.
Where'd you find it?
Lupcevic scored it. Judge Lupcevic 30-27, and Judge Krushka scored it 29-28. All in favor, winner by unanimous decision. Fighting out of the blue corner, Fikret Darzanoff.